Hello, honors pre-calculus students. Today's learning target is to solve optimization problems, and this particular problem is related to a fence. So your goal is to build a fence around your backyard with a dog run. The fence for the outside is 6 feet tall and costs about $17 per linear foot. The fence for the dog run is a shorter fence and costs $7 per linear foot. Your backyard has an area of 8640 square feet, and you want to minimize the cost. So we know that the area is equal to 8640 square feet. I'm going to draw a diagram to represent this problem. So this is the outside of your backyard. And then there's this dotted fence that costs $7 per linear foot there. So I'm going to call the horizontal distances x, and I'm going to call the vertical distance y. And then since this little blue piece and that little blue piece has to exclude the house, those two little blue pieces are going to be y minus 73, since the width of the house is 73 feet as shown in the diagram. So now using this picture, we know that the area is x times y, which means 8640 is equal to x times y. We need to create a cost function. These two pieces that I'm highlighting in yellow each costs 17 times x, so the c of x, the cost, will be 17x plus another 17x. The vertical piece will cost 17 times y, that's for the left side, and the right side also will cost 17, but this time it's y minus 73. And then we have the short fence represented by the dotted line. That's going to cost $7 times x. So combining like terms, we're going to have 41x plus 17y plus another 17y minus 1241, which will be 41x plus 34y minus 1241. But our cost function right now has two variables. It has x and y. So we can go back to the area equation and solve for y. So 8640 divided by x is equal to y. So then I can substitute for my final cost function 41x plus 34 times 8640 over x minus 1241. And we can simplify that to 41x plus 293760 over x minus 1241. So I'm going to go to the graphing calculators and type in the function. So when I go to my TI, I'm going to type that in, and then I'm going to press Zoom Standard as a starting spot. Same thing on the Casio. I'm going to type in the function, then I'm going to press Shift Window, and I'm going to press F3 for standard. And then when I hit draw, I will not see either function in either graph. So I'm going to press window, and I'm not sure exactly what to do, but I'm going to go out to 100. We talked about this in class. I changed the dimensions. And Y max, since this is cost, I'm going to start with 100, and I'm going to see what happens. And you can do the same thing on the Casio. So I don't see anything. I'm going to go back to window. And we're talking about cost, so I'm going to just add an extra 0 for the Y max. I'll go to 1000 and hit graph. I do not use zoom in or zoom out. Still do not see anything. I'll go back to window. I'm going to change the Y max to 10,000 and then hit graph. And now I see something. So now I can tell that maybe I need to go a little bit further to the right. So I'm going to press Window again, and I'm going to change this to 200 and hit Graph. And then I could see the minimum there. So now that I got the window, I would have done the same thing on the Casios. I would have pressed Shift, Window. I would have changed the X max, but we already know it's 200 from the TI. And then I'm going to go down to the Y max, and 10,000 gave us a good window. So then I can see that. Casios, Shift, G-Solve, minimum, and you'll get the minimum 84.646. TIs, Shift, Trace, or Calculate, minimum. Go to the left of the minimum, press Enter. Go to the right of the minimum, press Enter. Then move towards the minimum and press Enter, and you'll get the same answer. So in that diagram, we know that X is 84.646 feet. And then the maximum or the minimum cost was the Y value. So we know the minimum cost was equal to 5,699.94 cents. And since we are using dollars, we're going to round to the cents. Now I also want us to find the dimensions. So in this picture, we know X is equal to 84,646 feet. Meaning I wanted to find how many feet of each fence I need. So for the $17 fence, we need X plus Y minus 73. And we know that Y is equal to 8640 over X. So on my calculator, I'm going to say X plus X, so that's the top and the bottom, plus Y, which is 8640 divided by X, plus another Y divided by X, but then I had to take away 73 because the house was on that side. And that's around 300.46 or 436 feet. So the $17 fence, we need approximately 300.436 feet. And then for the $7 fence, we just need X, which was 84.646 feet.